The lawyer looked at the parking valet like he'd suggested performing brain surgery. Actually laughed, out loud. In the middle of the Plaza Hotel lobby, Robert Martinez stood there, 62 years old, red valet uniform, name tag that said Bobby, keys to 100 expensive cars in his pocket. The man who'd been parking Mercedes and Bentleys for 12 years. Invisible, unimportant, a fixture. "I'm sorry," the lawyer said. Christopher Hayes, Armani suit, Harvard law degree, voice-dripping superiority. Did the parking guy just suggest restructuring a $20 million acquisition? That's adorable. The three other people in the lobby smiled. Victoria Chen, venture capitalist, ruthless. Marcus Thompson, young tech founder, nervous, about to sign away his company, his future, his life's work, and Victoria's other advisor, some consultant whose name Bobby hadn't caught. All of them looking at Bobby like he was entertainment, a distraction, the help offering opinions. "The earn-out structure," Bobby said, voice calm, steady. "It's predatory. Front-loaded buyout with performance metrics Marcus can't possibly hit. You're giving him $3 million upfront and tying $17 million to EBITDA targets that require 300% growth in 18 months. That's designed to fail. He'll get the $3 million and you'll keep the IP, the customer base, and the technology. He'll have sold his company for 15% of its value and won't realize it until it's too late." Christopher Hayes' smile faded. Victoria Chen's eyes narrowed. Marcus looked confused. "How would a parking attendant know what EBITDA means?" Hayes said. "Because 25 years ago, I was the one structuring deals like this. Goldman Sachs, mergers and acquisitions. I've done 200 transactions, structured 50 earn-out agreements. I know exactly what you're doing, and I'm telling Marcus not to sign." Complete silence. The lobby seemed to stop. Victoria stared. Hayes' face went red. Marcus looked at Bobby like seeing him for the first time. What they didn't know yet was that the parking valet who they'd dismissed for 12 years had once closed billion-dollar deals. That he'd walked away from Wall Street after losing everything in 2008. That he'd chosen simplicity over success, peace over prestige, and that in the next 6 hours, he would save Marcus Thompson from signing the worst deal of his life. This is that story. 25 years earlier, Robert Martinez sat in his office on the 43rd floor of Goldman Sachs, 37 years old, managing director, mergers and acquisitions. One of the best. He structured deals. Big deals. Billion-dollar acquisitions. Leveraged buyouts. Corporate mergers. He was brilliant at it. Understanding value. Seeing angles. Protecting clients. Creating win-win structures. Made $3 million a year. Bonuses. Stock. Partnership track. Had a penthouse in Tribeca. Wife. 2 kids in private school. Summer house in the Hamptons. He'd made it. Immigrant kid from the Bronx. Full scholarship to NYU. MBA from Wharton. Climbed Wall Street. Won. Then 2008 happened. The financial crisis. Everything collapsed. Lehman Brothers, Bear Stearns, the entire system failing. Goldman survived, barely, but they cut deep, laid off thousands. Robert was one of them. "It's not performance, it's economics. We're cutting 40% of M&A. You're talented. You'll land somewhere." He didn't land somewhere. Nobody was hiring. The entire industry was dying. Deals stopped. Transactions froze. M&A disappeared. Robert sent out 300 resumes, got 5 interviews, 0 offers. His savings ran out, stopped paying the penthouse rent, moved the family to Queens. His wife left, couldn't handle the fall, couldn't go from penthouse to apartment, from private school to public, from Hamptons to nothing. Took the kids, filed for divorce. Robert was 40 years old, broke, alone, former hotshot with no prospects. He took any job he could find, tried consulting, no clients, tried freelance deal advisory, Nobody trusted a guy working from a studio apartment. Eventually found work as a parking valet, the Plaza Hotel, luxury. Ironic. He used to stay there, used to valet his own car. Now he was parking other people's. The humiliation was crushing, but he had no choice. Needed to eat, needed to pay child support, needed to survive. 12 years later, he was still there, still parking cars, still invisible. Still the guy who'd fallen from the top and never climbed back. He'd stopped trying, stopped wanting, just existed. Parked cars, went home, repeated, simple, empty, safe. The deal started on a Tuesday. Marcus Thompson pulled up in a Tesla, young guy, late 20s, nervous energy, excited. Bobby took his keys. Welcome to the plaza. Thanks. Big day. Selling my company. Can you believe it? Congratulations. Yeah, $20 million. Never thought I'd see that kind of money. Bobby smiled, handed him a ticket. Park it safe. She's a beauty. Thanks, man. Marcus went inside. Bobby parked the car. Thought about $20 million. Thought about the deals he used to do. Thought about a life that felt like someone else's. 30 minutes later, another car, black Mercedes S-Class. Driver got out. Woman, 50s. Expensive suit, cold eyes, Victoria Chen. Bobby knew the type. Predator. I'll be here 3 hours. Keep it close. Yes, ma'am. She didn't tip. Never did. Bobby had parked her car a dozen times. She was always here, always meeting people, always closing deals. He'd heard stories. Venture capitalist, aggressive, made fortunes buying startups cheap, squeezing founders, taking companies for pennies on the dollar, brilliant, ruthless, exactly the type Bobby used to work with. Used to protect clients from. Bobby parked the Mercedes, went back to the lobby, waited for the next car, watched Marcus and Victoria meet, watched them head to the conference room, watched Marcus's excitement, watched Victoria's calculation, and something bothered him. That look, that energy. He'd seen it before. The shark meeting the seal, the predator meeting the prey. Marcus had no idea what he was walking into. Over the next week, Bobby saw them multiple times. Marcus, Victoria, Victoria's lawyer, Christopher Hayes, her advisors, Marcus's advisor, some tech consultant who clearly didn't understand finance. They'd meet, negotiate, take breaks in the lobby. Bobby would overhear fragments, earn-out structure, performance metrics, EBITDA targets, IP assignment, corporate speak, deal language, the vocabulary of his former life, and the more he heard, the more concerned he became. Earnouts were tricky, good for buyers, dangerous for sellers. Structured right, they protected both sides. Structured wrong, they screwed the seller completely. One day, Bobby was cleaning the lobby. Near the conference room, door open, voices carrying. So the structure is $3 million up front, Hayes was saying, and $17 million tied to performance over 18 months. What kind of performance? Marcus asked. EBITDA growth. Your company did 1.2 million EBITDA last year. We need you to hit 4 million in year 1, 6 million in year 2. Hit those targets, you get the 17 million. That's huge growth. Your projections show it's possible. My projections were optimistic, best case scenarios. Well, that's what we're paying for. Best case. You hit the targets, you get 20 million. You don't. You get 3. Bobby stopped cleaning. Listened. Did the math. 1.2 million to 4 million. That's 233% growth, year 1. In a mature tech company, nearly impossible. And 4 million to 6 million year 2, another 50%, while integrating into a new parent company, while losing autonomy, while having new management. The targets were designed to fail. Marcus would get 3 million. Victoria would get a company worth 20 million for 15% of its value, and Marcus wouldn't realize it until it was too late. Bobby wanted to say something. wanted to walk in, warn Marcus. But what would he say? He was the parking guy. Nobody would listen, so he stayed quiet, kept cleaning, kept watching Marcus get destroyed. The signing was scheduled for Friday, 3 days away. Bobby couldn't stop thinking about it, couldn't stop seeing the structure, the predatory terms, the kid who was about to lose everything. Thursday night, Bobby was parking cars. Marcus pulled up. "Hey, man, big day tomorrow, signing the deal." "Congratulations." "Thanks, I'm nervous." "But excited. $20 million. Changes everything." Bobby hesitated. Then, "Can I ask you something?" "Sure." "The deal structure, the earn-out. You confident you can hit those targets?" "My projections say yes. I mean, they're aggressive, but possible." "What if you don't hit them?" "Then I get less money, but I still get $3 million. That's life-changing." "What about the IP, the technology, the customer relationships?" "That all transfers to Victoria's company, standard acquisition. And if you don't hit the earn-out targets, you still tied to the company?" "No. There's a separation clause. If I don't hit the metrics, I can leave, start something new." "With what?" "Your technology is gone. Your IP transferred. Your non-compete probably covers 18 months. You'll get $3 million and be locked out of your own industry for a year and a half. Then you'll try to start over, but the market will have moved. Victoria will have your customers, your tech, your reputation. You'll be starting from zero with some money but no assets." Marcus stared. "How do you know all this?" "I've seen deals like this, a lot of them. They're designed to look fair, but they're not. They're structured to transfer value. You're selling a $20 million company for $3 million. You just don't know it yet. You're a parking attendant. How would you know about M&A structures?" "Because I used to do this for a living, long time ago, different life. But I know what I'm looking at, and I'm looking at you getting screwed." Marcus was quiet. Then, "I have advisors, lawyers, they reviewed everything." "Do they specialize in M&A? Do they structure deals? Or are they general practice attorneys who think this looks standard?" "I don't know. I think standard." "Then they don't know what they're looking at. This isn't standard. This is predatory. And if you sign tomorrow, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. So what do I do?" "Don't sign. Renegotiate. Change the earn-out structure. Lower the targets. Increase the upfront. Add protection clauses. Make it actually fair." "Victoria won't agree to that. She'll walk." "Then let her walk. Your company is worth $20 million today. You'll find another buyer, one who won't try to steal it." Marcus looked torn. "I'll think about it. Thanks for the advice. Don't thank me, just don't sign that deal." Marcus went inside. Bobby parked the Tesla, hoped he'd listened, suspected he hadn't. Friday arrived. Signing day. Marcus showed up at 9 a.m., Victoria at 9:15, Hayes and the advisors at 9:30. They all went to the conference room. Bobby parked their cars, went back to the lobby, waited. At noon, they took a break, came out for lunch. Marcus looked stressed. Victoria looked satisfied. Hayes looked smug. Bobby approached Marcus. "Hey, you okay?" "Yeah, it's a lot. Signing my company away." "You don't have to." "I do. I already told everyone, announced it to the team. Can't back out now. You can always back out. Better to back out than sign something that destroys you. You don't understand. This is my one shot. My one chance to make it. If I don't take this, I might never get another offer." "Then get a better offer. From Victoria. Renegotiate." "It's too late." "It's not too late until you sign." "Marcus, I'm serious. This deal will ruin you. Please, don't sign." Marcus looked at him, then at Victoria, at Hayes, at his future. "I have to. I'm sorry, but thanks for caring." He walked away. Bobby stood there, watched him go back to the conference room, watched him throw his life away, and felt helpless. 1 p.m. They were still in there, 2 p.m., still going. 3 p.m. Bobby was parking a Bentley when his phone buzzed. Text from Marcus. They're pressuring me to sign. I'm scared, but I don't know what to do. Bobby texted back. Don't sign. Tell them you need to review one more time. Buy yourself time. They'll think I'm backing out. Good. You should be backing out. I can't. Everyone's here. Lawyers. Advisors. Victoria. I can't just walk away. You can. It's your company. Your future. Your choice. No response. Bobby finished parking the Bentley, walked back inside, saw them through the conference room window, Marcus sitting, pen in hand, documents in front of him, about to sign. Bobby made a decision, walked to the conference room, opened the door. Marcus, can I talk to you? 1 minute. Victoria looked up, annoyed. But we're in the middle of something. I know. This is important. Hayes stood. Sir, you're the parking attendant. This is a private meeting. Please leave. Marcus asked for my advice. I'm giving it. Your advice? On a $20 million acquisition? What could you possibly? Don't sign, Marcus. This deal is structured to steal your company. You're giving away $17 million in value for nothing. Victoria's face went cold. Who do you think you are? Someone who knows what earn-out structures look like when they're designed to fail. Someone who's seen this exact deal 100 times. Someone who's trying to stop a kid from making the worst mistake of his life. Hayes laughed. This is insane. You're a parking attendant. You don't know anything about corporate M&A. I know that your earn-out targets require 233% EBITDA growth in year one. I know that's statistically impossible for a mature SaaS company. I know that your non-compete locks Marcus out of his industry for 18 months. If he doesn't hit targets he can't hit. I know that your IP transfer gives Victoria everything. Technology, customers, brand, while paying Marcus 15% of actual value. I know exactly what this is. It's theft, dressed up as an acquisition. The room went quiet. Victoria stared. Hayes looked nervous. Marcus looked at Bobby like seeing him for the first time. How do you know all that? Victoria asked. Because I used to be the one writing these deals. Goldman Sachs, 25 years in M&A. I've structured 200 transactions. I know every trick, every angle, every way to transfer value while looking fair. This is textbook predatory acquisition. And Marcus is about to sign it because nobody explained what it actually means. You're lying. Call Goldman. Ask for the M&A division records from 1998 to 2008. Robert Martinez, Managing Director. You'll find me or don't. But Marcus, listen to me. If you sign this, you'll get $3 million and lose a $20 million company. Victoria will own your technology, your customers, your brand, and you'll be starting over at 30 with no assets and a non-compete. Is that worth it? Marcus looked at the documents, at Victoria, at Hayes, at Bobby. But what should I do? Renegotiate. Right now. The next 2 hours were brutal. Victoria didn't want to renegotiate, threatened to walk. Hayes said the deal was fair. Marcus's advisors were confused, but Bobby stood his ground, walked them through the structure, showed exactly how the earn-out would fail, how the metrics were impossible, how Marcus would lose everything. Slowly, Marcus's advisors started seeing it, started questioning, started pushing back. Victoria realized she was losing control. Fine, what do you want? Bobby took over. Started restructuring. Upfront payment increases to $8 million. Earn-out drops to $12 million. Targets adjust to realistic growth. 60% year one, 40% year two. Non-compete reduces to 6 months. IP rights stay partially with Marcus. He retains licensing rights for any derivative technology. Revenue sharing if the company exceeds projections. And a board seat for Marcus with veto rights on major decisions. Victoria stared. That's completely different from what we agreed. What you agreed was theft. This is fair. Why would I accept this? Because Marcus's company is worth $20 million. You know it. I know it. If you walk, he'll find another buyer in 3 months. Someone who won't try to screw him. You'll lose the deal completely. Or you take this structure. Pay fair value. And everyone wins. Victoria looked at Hayes, at her advisors. Did the math? Finally. Fine. But I want the earn-out period extended. 3 years, not 18 months. Fine. But targets adjust proportionally. Lower annual growth required. Done. They spent another hour drafting. Bobby guided Marcus through every clause, every term, every protection. By 7 p.m. they had a new deal. Fair, balanced, actual value. Marcus would get $8 million up front. $12 million over 3 years if he hit reasonable targets. Keep partial IP rights. Have board influence. Actually win. He signed, Victoria signed, it was done. After everyone left, Marcus found Bobby in the parking garage. I don't know how to thank you. You don't need to thank me. You saved me. You saved my company, my future, everything. I just helped you see what was actually happening. Why? Why did you help me? You're a parking attendant. This isn't your job. Because I've seen too many people get destroyed by deals like this. Because I couldn't watch it happen again, because someone needed to tell you the truth. You really worked at Goldman? 25 years. Why are you parking cars? Bobby thought about 2008, about losing everything, about the fall. Because sometimes life doesn't go the way you plan, and you have to find a new way. This is my way. Simple. Honest. No pressure. You could come work for me. Help me run the company. I'll pay you whatever you want. I appreciate that. But no. Why not? Because I like my life. I like parking cars. I like the simplicity. I like not carrying the weight of billion-dollar deals. I did that for 25 years. It destroyed me. This is better. Parking cars is better than being a millionaire deal maker. Yes, because millionaire deal makers work 80 hours a week. Sacrifice everything, lose families, lose themselves. I did that, lost my wife, my kids, my health, everything. For what? Money I couldn't keep, success that disappeared, recognition that meant nothing when I was alone. This job, I work 8 hours, go home, sleep at night, have peace. That's worth more than any deal I ever closed. Marcus was quiet. Then, that's the wisest thing I've ever heard. It's not wisdom. It's just learning the hard way. Can I ask you something? What? If someone else needs help, with a deal, with advice, can I send them to you? I'm not doing this again. This was a one-time thing. But you're brilliant. You just saved me $8 million, saved my company, saved my future. That expertise shouldn't be wasted parking cars. It's not wasted. It's repurposed. I helped you because I couldn't watch you get hurt. But I'm not going back to that world. I'm happy here. Let me stay happy. Marcus nodded. Okay, but if you change your mind, if you ever want to do something more, call me. Please. I won't. But thanks. 6 months later, Marcus's company was thriving, growing, successful. He'd hit his first-year targets, was on track for the earn-out, was building something real. He sent Bobby a text. The deal you saved, it's working. We're killing it. Thank you. Bobby smiled. Texted back. Proud of you. Keep building. A week later, a young woman came to the plaza. Tech entrepreneur. Bobby parked her car. Big meeting. Yeah. Venture capital. Selling my company. Congratulations. Thanks. I'm nervous. First time doing this. Get a good lawyer. Someone who understands M&A and read every word of the earn-out structure. Make sure it's fair. She looked at him. And that's specific advice for a parking attendant. Just seen a lot of deals happen here. Some good, some bad. Yours should be good. Thanks. I appreciate that. She went inside. Bobby parked her car. Thought about whether to do more, whether to get involved. Decided not to. He'd helped Marcus. That was enough. But 3 hours later, she came out, crying. Bobby approached. Hey, You okay? No. The deal. It's terrible. They're trying to screw me. But my lawyer says it's standard, says I should sign, but it feels wrong. What's the structure? She told him. Bobby listened. Same predatory earnout, same impossible targets, same value transfer. Victoria Chen, different victim. Don't sign. What? That deal is designed to steal your company. You'll get nothing. They'll get everything. Don't sign. How do you know? Because I've seen this deal before. Structured it. Fought it. Saved someone from it. This is the same predator, same structure, different target. Don't sign. But what do I do? Call this guy. Bobby wrote down Marcus's number. Tell him Bobby sent you. He'll help. He'll show you what fair looks like, and then come back. Make them offer fair terms, or walk away. She looked at the number, at Bobby. Who are you? Just a parking attendant who's seen too many people get hurt. Please, don't sign that deal. She left, called Marcus. Marcus called Bobby. Did you just send me a referral? She needs help. Same deal you almost signed. Victoria Chen. Help her. You could help her. I'm not doing that. But you can. You know what fair looks like now. Teach her, protect her, pass it forward. You're doing it again, helping people, using your expertise. Even though you say you're done, this is different. I'm not structuring the deal. I'm just connecting people. That's not the same. It's the same impact. You're saving people. That matters. Maybe. But I'm still parking cars, still living my simple life, still at peace. For now. But Bobby, I think you're building something. Maybe not a career, but a legacy. One person at a time. That's not nothing. A year later, Bobby was still parking cars, still at the plaza, still simple life, but something had changed. He'd helped 12 entrepreneurs, sent them to Marcus, taught them to spot predatory deals, saved them from Victoria Chen and others like her. Word spread, quietly. The valet at the plaza, he knows deals. He'll tell you the truth. Entrepreneurs started coming specifically to meet him, to get advice, to learn. Bobby didn't charge, didn't advertise, just helped, 30 minutes at a time. In a parking garage, between cars, simple. Marcus built a network. Other founders Bobby had helped. They created a group. Plaza Protection Society. Half joke, half real, shared knowledge, warned each other, helped each other negotiate. Bobby's advice became legend. The parking guy saved my deal. The valet restructured my earnout. Bobby at the plaza is the smartest guy in M&A. Goldman Sachs heard about it, reached out. Robert Martinez, we've been looking for you. We'd like you to come back. Senior advisor, part-time, name your price. Bobby said no. A private equity firm offered him a consultancy, 7 figures. Bobby said no. Marcus offered him partnership in a new venture fund, 8 figures potential. Bobby said no. Why? Marcus asked. Why do you keep saying no? You could have everything. Money, recognition, success. I have what I want. Peace, simplicity, the ability to help people without pressure, without stakes, without sacrifice. That's enough. But you're parking cars. And I'm happy. That's more than I was when I was making millions. That's more than most people ever get. Why would I trade happiness for money I don't need? Marcus didn't have an answer. Bobby kept parking cars, kept helping entrepreneurs, kept living his simple life, and he was genuinely happy. Not because of what he did, but because of who he'd become. Someone who helped without expectation, someone who used his gifts without attachment, someone who'd learned what mattered. That was worth more than any deal he'd ever closed. Sometimes the smartest people choose the simplest jobs, not because they can't do more, but because they've learned what enough means. They've learned that success without peace is failure, that money without happiness is poverty, that recognition without contentment is emptiness. Robert Martinez was a Goldman Sachs managing director, structured billion-dollar deals, made millions, lost everything, became a parking valet, and found something he'd never had before. Peace. Actual peace. When the moment came, when someone needed his expertise, when a deal needed saving, he stepped up, used his knowledge, saved people, then went back to parking cars, because that's wisdom, knowing when to help, knowing when to step back, knowing the difference between having impact and needing recognition. He helped 12 entrepreneurs, saved them millions, changed their lives, and they tried to repay him with money, with positions, with status. He said no to all of it, because he'd learned something most people never learn, that the most valuable thing you can have isn't money, isn't recognition, isn't success, it's peace. And once you have it, you don't trade it for anything. Don't judge people by their jobs, by their status, by what they've achieved or lost. Judge them by whether they're at peace, whether they help others, whether they've figured out what matters. Those are the people who've truly won. If this resonated, leave a comment. Subscribe if you believe in finding peace over chasing success, in people who help without needing credit, in parking attendants who save deals and go back to parking cars. Those are the people who understand life. Those are the people who matter.